All right, here's the Wizards and Bulls game one, and a little message, the hashtag #GetWellSager for our colleague. And boy, good wishes at arenas all around the playoffs. Joakim Noah, Nene, they were going to be principals in this one. What about Nene starting off with moves like these?
Not afraid to challenge Joakim Noah in the post. Obviously very good with his left hand, but it's this mid-range jumper where he can mix it up. So if Noah's helping on any kind of penetration, Vince, Nene able to knock down that shot consistently today.
Oh, DJ Augustin, tough shot. Not there, but tipped in by Joe. Chicago hitting the offensive glass, and then Kirk Hinrich tries the floater. That won't be there, but Taj Gibson.
Assist Joakim Noah as he's able to walk down Gortat to make sure that Taj had enough room to get that dunk to go.
14-4 run by Chicago. Then DJ Augustin driving to the basket, laying on the foul. He had 12 and a half. What a find he has been this year.
He's been a difference maker for the Bulls. Just not the greatest game tonight for him.
Now, Mike Dunleavy starting the third quarter with 8 straight points. Joe found him, and he buried the three. Chicago's up by 11.
And then they got away from themselves a little bit. Uncharacteristic turnover there. John Wall, characteristic finish as he gets the dunk to go. And the Wizards did not lose themselves during that stretch of time. A lot of loose balls coming their way. Tough to guard the three-point line. Ariza knocks it down.
Ariza, another hero, an unsung hero for the Washington Wizards. Part of a 13-2 run. Then Joakim Noah, tough lay-in, scoops it off the glass. Chicago's up by 3, and this is what we were talking about. Was it a Chicago-type pace to the game? On to the fourth quarter. Noah. Jimmy Butler, the alley.
Yeah, great finish. Chicago had enough points at this point. It came down to the defensive end of the floor, though.
Well, what a great job by Nene. Great hands. He steals it away from Noah and fights his way to the basket and lays it up and in.
Great focus to just concentrate on that ball, not losing possession. Vince gets that finish to go. And then two veteran players. Look at the late pass by Nene. So tough to guard. The late pass as Andre Miller sneaks in, and John Wall's watching in the fourth quarter for a good bit.
He should at this point. Miller at 8 in the fourth quarter. Now, Washington taking the lead on an 8-1 run. Gortat the lay-in from a cutting Ariza.
Two guys with finals experience right there.
And John Wall to Nene again. 92-88, Washington in front. And, you know, this is not the Washington team we had seen crumble down the stretch as they were trying to get themselves in playoff position last year and the beginning of this.
Bulls get away with one here on that DJ Augustin three-point attempt. Noah in the rim. They did not call it, so the 2 points go. Chicago then down 4.
But just not getting that big shot. Hinrich with a miss. Hinrich, the floater, is blocked by Nene. The Bulls were 7 of 18. Just 18 points in the fourth quarter. And then John Wall missed the jumper, but look at Gortat. Great offensive rebound and putback. And they hung 102 on Chicago and won game one to take home court 102-93.
The Washington Wizards with a 1-0 series lead in this first round against the Chicago Bulls entering Tuesday night. Fast forward to game 2 and Joakim Noah receiving the Kia NBA Defensive Player of the Year trophy from Dikembe Mutombo. But the Wizards turned defense into offense early in the game off the Kirk Hinrich turnover. Trevor Ariza getting the ball ahead to Bradley Beal for the finish to put Washington up 15-6 early on. And a Carlos Boozer turnover leads to John Wall going end-to-end to finish the layup to put Washington up 21-10. Another turnover by Kirk Hinrich. Bradley Beal getting the layup plus the foul will go on to make the free throw to put Washington up 26-12 in the first. Heading into the second, the Bulls cut into the lead. DJ Augustin driving and dishing to Joakim Noah for the layup. Washington still up by 10, and things get physical. On the inbounds play, Bradley Beal and Kirk Hinrich getting tied up and a little bit involved there in a pushing match, and double technicals were issued on both Beal and Hinrich. The officials stepped in before it got out of hand, but your Defensive Player of the Year, Joakim Noah, doing what Joakim Noah often does, getting the crowd involved and feeding off that intensity on the floor. Later in the second, Jimmy Butler finding DJ Augustin for the three from the wing. Washington still up 45-41. And Taj Gibson for the lay-in plus the foul. He goes on to make the free throw and cap a 13-2 Bulls run. Washington still up. John Wall Goes glass on the jumper, gets it to go, and he's fouled. Wall makes the free throw, and Washington's up 56-49 heading into the locker room at the half. Joakim Noah for the layup. On the play, Carlos Boozer grabs the rim as the ball goes through. The bucket did still count. Washington up 64-63. And DJ Augustine finds Mike Dunleavy for the jumper. Chicago takes the first lead of the game on that shot. And DJ Augustine getting one of his own. They outscored the Wizards 26-14 in the third quarter. And heading into the fourth, Augustine again. He'll step up and nail the long two to put Chicago up 83-75. And later in the fourth, Bradley Beal trying to bring the Wizards back. Trevor Ariza misses a three, but the Wizards grab that offensive rebound and Bradley Beal makes it. Wizards with the ball movement. Beal again from the wing, nailing another three. And with the ball at the top of the key, Beal will drive and hit the floater in the paint. Chicago still up 91-90. And later in the fourth, DJ Augustine drives. He'll pull it but miss. There's a scramble for the ball. Taj Gibson and Nene get the ball, and the refs call a jump ball with just 10.5 seconds left to go. Carlos Boozer telling his guys to call a timeout. And the jump ball. In the fourth, Nene wins it, and the Wizards call a timeout, tied at 91. 8.3 seconds left. Bradley Beal will dribble the clock out and pull the baseline jumper, but miss it on the buzzer. We are headed into overtime. With the score tied 91-91 at the end of regulation to start the overtime period, Joakim Noah turning the ball over. But Beal's pass is almost stolen back by Noah, but Trevor Ariza gets the ball ahead to Nene for the dunk. Washington's up 95-91. Nene again with the extended elbow jumper. Put Washington up 97-91. With the Bulls down 6, under 45 to go, Joakim Noah finishes the layup. And on the Wizards inbounds, John Wall pushing DJ Augustine, and he's called for the foul. Noah would end up making 2 free throws on the ensuing possession to cut the lead down to 2. Score, Washington up 101-99 after those Noah free throws. And with the Bulls down 2 and under 10 seconds to go, Kirk Hinrich fouled by Nene. He's headed to the line in a must-make situation with 2 free throws to come. Hinrich on the free throw line. He'll take the first one. Can't get it to fall. And the Wizards bench is loving it as they're 2.4 seconds away from taking a 2-0 series lead. Hinrich will intentionally miss the second. The Bulls can't grab the rebound. John Wall launches it as the Wizards win 101-99, taking a 2-0 series lead for the first time as a franchise since 1982. Game 3 is Friday at Washington.
Only 4 teams in NBA history since 1969 have gone on to win a 7-game series after dropping the first 2 at home. That's the task at hand for Mike Dunleavy and the Bulls as the series shifts to Washington, D.C. For the first time, the Wizards in 6 years hosting a home playoff game. Rough start for the road team. 7 first-quarter turnovers for the Bulls, and look at this. John Wall getting him excited in the nation's capital. Wall, 11 points in the first quarter. Finished the game with 23. Tom Thibodeau, none too pleased. But here come his Bulls. Mike Dunleavy Jr., the start of a special evening. He had 20 total points over the first 2 games of this series. Dunleavy, the bucket and the foul. In the first half, Dunleavy hit 3 of 4 from downtown. DJ Augustine. And Chicago is up by 3, but back the other way. Bradley Beal with a 3 of his own to make it a 1-point game with just under 1:20 to go in the half. Now the Wizards up by 1. You could extend the lead as Trevor Ariza finishes off Trevor Booker's miss. Washington ends the half at a 9-0 run. They lead at 51-48 at the break. More of Washington. Marcin Gortat puts the home team up by 9. But Mike Dunleavy Jr. starts to catch fire. Off the Carlos Boozer miss, here's Dunleavy, the tip-in. And then doing what Mike Dunleavy Jr. does. Hitting it from the outside, getting the 3, and the opportunity for one more. He was 3 of 3 from downtown in the third. 13 points in the quarter. That one put him up by 1 after he made the free throw. On to the fourth quarter where things start to get a bit feisty. That's Nene getting Washington back within 2, and then Nene and Jimmy Butler exchange words, and oh boy, these two don't like each other. The third game of a long series, and you see, they're getting the best of each other here. Nene, well, he would be the ultimate loser in this one. The refs go to the review, and with 8:28 to go in the game, Nene is done. He's ejected. Chicago was leading it 78-76. Would that be the turning point? Jimmy Butler, he had 4 points entering the fourth. That one was huge. Chicago up 81-76. Bradley Beal, he had 25. The Wizards, without Nene, go on a 10-1 run. DJ Augustine to Mike Dunleavy. He was 8 of 10 from downtown, career playoff high 35 points. And the shooting from downtown was contagious. Jimmy Butler with the triple to put Chicago up 3. Butler with 11 of his 15 coming in the fourth. Now Washington down 5, needing a miracle. And look at this, they might have gotten it. Tony Snell fouls John Wall 65 feet away from the bucket. He's shooting 3. Wall hit the first 2. And to make it a 2-point game, Wall gets the friendly roll. It's 99-97. Now the inbounds. Taj Gibson gets it. He is fouled. Taj Gibson at the line. He would make the first, but the second is no good, so it's still a one-possession game. Trevor Ariza rebounds, tries to get it to Wall, but it goes out of bounds. The Bulls hang on to win this one by 3 and get in the win column. Washington still with a 2-1 advantage. Game 4 back in D.C. on Sunday.
As we head to the Verizon Center in D.C., there's Defensive Player of the Year Joakim Noah and John Wall coming off a nice Game 3. Kirk Hinrich with the floater. The Wizards are running, and it's Wall to Trevor Ariza. Mike, 7-zip Washington.
Talking about the pace, we mentioned that, before the top of the game that, they would have, minus Nene, they would have to push the pace, and I thought they did early. Came out and kind of smacked Chicago right in the face early and never really looked back.
Trevor Ariza for 3. 17-2 Washington, and Randy Whitman pumping up his team.
What we're doing down there, that's why we're where we're at. All right? Continue to get stops.
And they would continue to get stops. Underneath to Carlos Boozer and Trevor Booker with the block and the primal scream.
Hey, that's that energy that he was bringing, that effort that he was bringing, and it was huge because it just ignited the fast break for the Wizards.
Look at this one on DJ Augustine. Got to love that D, got to love the energy. We go to the second quarter, and this is when Taj Gibson flexed, Bones.
Well, like Coach Woodson said, if it wasn't for Taj Gibson, this game is over. I mean, it's a blowout. So Taj came in, provided some instant offense. You saw him on the break there, then working on the post. And the Bulls got themselves right back in the game because of number 22.
Yeah, they trailed by 15 thanks to Gibson. They got it within 4, but back come the Wizards in a game of runs. Not an alley-oop, that was an alley lay-in for Martell Webster.
Yeah, again, their bench guys are a key to, what the Wizards are trying to get established. They didn't get a whole lot off the bench tonight, but it was productive. Webster coming in and making a few shots early, and they're going to need that the rest of the way out.
Beal put the Wizards up 11. John Wall with the steal. He's going all the way. They're up 13.
Well, that's what I said earlier. The turnovers killed the Bulls because the Wizards got out and ran and finished, and you can't just turn the ball over. They had 16 turnovers, gave up 29 points.
And a buzzer beater at the end of the first half by Trevor Ariza. Bones, they were up 15.
Well, I know the halftime speech from Coach Thibodeau was not going to be pretty, but after that 3, I think it got worse on his walk from the hallway to the locker room, and then they start off the third quarter with more of the same. Ariza penetrates, gets in there, Boozer with a bad foul out of position, and the N1 opportunity.
And then Carlos Boozer called for a flagrant 1 foul on Marcin Gortat. That was his 5th foul in the third quarter. Did you think that was flagrant?
I don't know. It was kind of close. He just took a hard foul. I mean, they called it. Hey, it's part of it.
It is what it is. John Wall with the miss. Marcin Gortat looking for somebody. Good guy to find. Trevor Ariza. Oh, he banked it in. It was that kind of day for him.
Hey, banked it off the glass. The bank's open on Sunday.
And the shot is off. Gooden keeping it alive. And Bradley Beal finger rolling it home. And Wizards owner Ted Leonsis loving it.
Taking advantage of Mike Dunleavy, who took a hard fall on that one. He'd go out of the game. They were checking the left arm, left wrist area. Would the Bulls have one more run in them? They did. They got the Butler three, then the Gibson miss, followed up by Noah, and then within 10, so striking distance.
But then shot clock running down. It's Marcin Gortat finding Trevor Ariza, flying in baseline style. That was it. The Washington Wizards win Game 4. The final score, 98-89. And there is Ted Leonsis, the owner of the Wizards, loving what he is seeing, although a subdued look on his face right there. Taj Gibson.
On a Tuesday night in the first round of the NBA playoffs, Washington leading Chicago 3-1 in the series and a chance to close it out. Nene warming up back after a 1-game suspension, and John Wall finds him early, knocking it down to put Washington up 13-10. And Nene again with a nice spin move and fadeaway jumper. He was 10 of 17 from the field and puts Washington up by 10. Bradley Beal's pass off the leg of Joakim Noah heads into the backcourt. Nene getting the loose ball, grabs it with one hand and finds Bradley Beal, who knocks it down from the wing. Put Washington up 28-16. Kirk Hinrich to Taj Gibson, who finishes with a one-handed jam. 12 points off the bench for Gibson. And Jimmy Butler pulling up from the corner, knocking it down. 3 of his 16 points in the game. Later in the second, DJ Augustine to Joakim Noah, who gets his jumper to fall. He contributed 6 points, 18 rebounds, and 7 assists in the game. Nene finding John Wall. He'll hit the shot and get fouled by Kirk Hinrich as he goes. Makes the free throw, and we're tied at 41 coming out of the locker room. Kirk Hinrich missing the jumper. John Wall to Bradley Beal all the way down the floor. Beal had 17. And Nene pulling up to knock down the baseline jumper over Joakim Noah. He had 20 points and 7 rebounds in the game. And Kirk Hinrich finding Taj Gibson underneath to finish the lay-in. He's also fouled. Goes on to make the free throw. Washington still up 61-57, but John Wall missing the floater and colliding with Taj Gibson. Gibson turned his ankle as he landed and had to be helped off the floor and would not return to the game. Later in the fourth, Carlos Boozer turning the ball over. Nene saving it and gets it to head to John Wall, who will finish this one all by himself. 24 points and 7 rebounds in the game. And Boozer pulling up for one of his own, his first fourth quarter points of the entire series. And the Bulls get close in the fourth quarter but can't score down the stretch. That's Boozer missing the layup and off the inbounds. Jimmy Butler missing it close to the basket as well. Chicago only shot 33% from the field in the game. And late in the fourth, Andre Miller at the free throw line. Can't get the first one to go. Washington up 72-69 with 16.2 seconds to go. And he'll miss the second one as well. Nene sending it flying. And the Wizards hang on for the win, 75-69. And with that, Washington advances to the Eastern Conference semifinals.